All right. Welcome everybody to our Shine Bright Business Training. My name's Sharon and I'm a Gold Executive rank in ASEA. Today's the 6th of November and it's nearly the end of the year and I wish I could turn off that chime, but I can't. 1 second, see if I can do that again. That tells me I'm not on chime, but I'll just have to deal with that. So before we get started, just a couple of things. I'd like to welcome you to this Shine Bright Team Training meeting where our growing ASEA family gathers to learn and develop our skills in furthering the mission of ASEA to help hundreds of thousands of people around the world live a healthier life while achieving their own personal and financial aspirations and dreams. Many healthcare professionals are calling ASEA's products the greatest scientific breakthrough in health science, anti-aging and athletic performance of our lifetime. They are saying the science discovery is as big as the discovery of penicillin and DNA. So the intention of this call is to support you to gain maximum benefits from using ASEA's products and to empower you to share this extraordinary technology with the people in your life, making a living while making a difference. So we just ask for your cooperation to not record this call and not distribute to the mass media or social media sites, so no Facebook, Twitter, etc. please. The call is recorded and posted in the Shine Bright Team Facebook community, and we encourage you to invite all of your associates to this call, but is not attended for the general public. So let's get started, everybody. Welcome. I am going to share my screen and today we're going to talk about the power of events, getting people to events. So we'd had a really, really great event on the weekend, which just prompted me to talk about this today. So I'm going to probably have a little bit of tricky trouble with my computer again. Okay. So Nicole came down to Melbourne on the weekend, and please feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions through this call. I love a little bit of feedback and interaction. So Nicole came down to Melbourne and we had a really awesome event, and it prompted me to think about how important the events are and to get people to events in a new business, in a company, and especially in a network marketing company. So one of the things that came up, there's many things that happen when you get people to events, is the first thing that came up was the connection. So a lot of the time when we do a network marketing business, we're on our own, we're at home, and some of the things that are missing are the interactions with the people. Oh, come on, computer. You know, it's going to have a hissy fit. I might have to escape it for a second. Can you guys see that okay? Sorry. Doesn't want to do that. It's having a little bit of a hit. All right, there we go. So some of the really important things when we have events, whether they be small events, big events, whether they be in-home events, is the connection with like-minded people. So we're all kind of doing the same thing. We're interested in the same things. Connection with leaders. So it was so important for us on the weekend. I'm just going to whip through this so that we can have a bit of a conversation about it after. But it was so important for us on the weekend to just get to know Nicole. Justin's been down to Melbourne as well, but we see them online all the time. But it was really great for my team of people just to meet them in person and realize that they're, you know, I won't say just normal people because we're all exceptional, but just like each other. So it was just great to connect with the leaders. Oh. I've just lost. Have you guys still hear me? Okay. All right. We're just having.
I hear you, but the screen's blank from where I am.
I know, it's blank from where I am too. So we'll try that again, shall we? Goodness, now I've lost my PowerPoint, it's disappeared. First world problems once again. Can you just bear with me for 2 seconds?
Hello, everybody.
Sorry.
How is everyone?
All right, I'm back again. I'm not sure what, oh, maybe that's, did you just join us, Nicole? All right. All right, connection with like-minded people, with the leaders. No, does not want to play with me today. It's also a good way to reconnect with your friends and invite them to an event for coffee, just to catch up with no real agenda, but for them just to have a listen and meet some new people. It's great to connect with team members. So what I probably loved the most was, hanging out with some people that I only see online, and you get to see them in person, and it's like long lost buddies. So I think there's some really cool things that happen, for your team and for the people that you bring along. You get to connect with high energy driven people, and good connections create fellowship. So I don't know who else has been in a network marketing company before, but I have made some friends that have become just an amazing part of my life just from a business. So I think there's some really, great things that we get from the connection side of things when we do events. And it's sometimes where creativity happens. So a lot of the time you meet someone and you're like-minded, then all of a sudden you're doing business together. And one of those examples would be Janine and myself. Like, we just got along like a house on fire. We got introduced to each other, and now we do events together. We're not in the same team. We're just doing really cool things. We have great conversations. We laugh a lot. Like, it's just great. And it creates a beautiful family. So a lot of people aren't connected anymore because they're on social media, but they're not in real life. So I just find that whether we like it or not, we create a great family environment in one way or another. The second thing that I'd like to touch on is the conviction. And so you all know that what you focus on is what you get. And the more people you can get to the events, the more conviction that happens for them. And so I've just jotted down a few points here. And how they get that conviction is they listen to the inspirational product stories. And now we can listen to them online, but when you see people in person and you listen to them in person, it just moves you, and it makes something different happen inside you. It's a different frequency for a lot of people. The more you hear those things, the more inspiring it is, and you're hearing it time and time again. So the more you go to events, the more inspiration you feel. There's a lot of financial and lifestyle and freedom stories that happen, and the people move you. So on the weekend, it was really great to have some of the diamonds at our event in Melbourne. And, a lot of people think that, the diamonds are so above, and they're so far ahead of everybody. I wish I could turn off that chime. But really, when they get up, they've had, there's always a great story to hear, and it moves you. And it only really happens in person. We get a little bit online, but the events are so powerful for those things. It breathes belief into people, and they become so much more inspired, and you get so much more retention. They get to have conversations with other business associates and people that are doing great things, and people get to bounce off each other, which creates a feeling and an understanding that there's support. There's a big support network available to them. Whether they use it or not, it's totally up to them. But you kind of get the gist that you can, really call upon people, and they don't have to be in your team. Another great thing is, the more that you go and the more that you listen, you're listening to the same things over and over again, but from different people. So the conviction becomes much stronger. So all I can say is really try and inspire your team to get to as many events as possible. And because that can be the one thing that provokes that one decision for them to change, to actually jump on board and become part of the team. Another thing that I've noticed, so these are all the things that came to mind. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. We're off again. Is it builds confidence in people. So there's some people in my team, you know, that have been in my business for the last 10 months, but they haven't really done anything. They're just sitting back on the sidelines. They're just waiting for things to happen, but they're starting to get confident and they're starting to feel comfortable, and they realize that they're no different to anyone else. Everybody's got their challenges. They can learn anything. You know, and so they start to ask more questions. So sometimes people jump at the chance, and then other times people just like to turn up to the events. They like to see what's going on and build their confidence, and then they will take off. So seeing the same people at the events, maybe the people that speak or just the associates that are going there, also builds trust. So every time you take your people to an event, they see the people they saw last time, and then there's a new story to tell. And they start trusting each other. So it's not one of those, you know, we get the whole scammy thing going on, but it's people just really get trust embedded within them. We tend to have a lot of fun and laugh a lot, you know, and then we can catch up and have dinner afterwards, and you get to be yourself, and everybody gets to be themselves, and they're loved and supported for who they really are. And that's a really good feeling. That makes them feel good about themselves and confident that they can be who they want to be, and they can still do this business being who they are, which creates a nice feeling of acceptance, you know, a really nice feeling. And I think, you know, if you've been in this business, I've only been in this business a short time, but this is the best one I've ever been in. It's really laid back. It's really fun. You know, you've always got your little challenges in business, but this is probably the most fun I've had in a long time. So, and real, it's really real. So I love that. And sometimes having the confidence, people start to contribute. So, you know, at the beginning, they might not be able to do business and talk to people, but if they can help out at an event or an evening, they start to build their confidence also. Which then takes them to be able to have conversations. They've got the conviction, and they can invite people along to the next thing. So there's a lot of things that come from that. The other thing, we get to hear about the product knowledge. So there's a lot of, you know, things to learn about, but at the events you get to keep up to date with all the launches and the products and the new things that are happening, you know, the events that are going on around the world. I think that's really important. So I like the events for that reason, and I like taking as many people as possible to the events, the regional ones. And, you know, I'm big, if you ask any of my team, it's like, are you ready? Have you booked your tickets to Queensland? Because I think once you do that big event, your national event, your convention, it changes you. You can't get out even if you wanted to, because you really get it after that once you do the convention. So if my team are on this call, which I'm sure they are, book your tickets. You get to see different speakers each time, because people resonate with different people and they talk about their different product experiences and what's gone on for them. There's always a new success story about the products. There's always new insights about how they can be used and helping people, further understanding of the benefits and seeing the changes in people in person. So I've had a lot of comments about how my skin's changed. You know, there's a lot of different things. Oh my God, you look much healthier. You know, and every time I see people, like even Nicole, when I saw Nicole on the weekend, I thought, oh wow, you look so different. You look really vibrant, and not that you weren't before, but you look even more vibrant and younger and fitter and healthier. So it's just a beautiful thing. Another thing I think is very important is the business knowledge that you get. So even if we just drop a little bit of business knowledge at the events, not a great lot, but it just gives people a bit more of an understanding. Oh, I don't think my computer wants to work again. Okay. We can probably escape out of that. You can all see that. I'm just going to do it this way because it doesn't want to help me today. Um, so the more people hear about the business, I think the sooner they want to be a part of it. There's so many, I had a beautiful lady come on the weekend, and we had spoken about the business quite some time ago, and then someone else had spoken, but it took to be in person and listen to the people for her to have that shift and, right, I want to try this. So I think that can really change people's mind, being somewhere in person. It makes more sense to them the more that they hear things about the business, the more it makes sense. There's always the real life proof and stories of people transforming their financial lives, and the insight into the growth of the company creates trust with the company. So when I flew up to Queensland for the convention, one of my favourite times was just talking to Tyler and finding out who I was doing business with. I wanted to know who I was doing business with. And I had a short conversation, but I got to have a great conversation with him, and I just loved who he was. It felt good for me. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people like me that would really want to meet, the people that own the company. So knowing about the company and where the company is heading is good for some people. Some people don't mind or don't care about it, but if you're, a little bit like me, I want to know where the company is, whether it's debt-free, all of those things. And you get to feel the culture of the company. And I think those things are really important. Meeting people from corporate is always amazing. They're always so awesome. And if you can take your people there and introduce them, it's a pretty special moment a lot of the time. So, and when you start learning about the business, you're more empowered about your own business. So they're my tips for getting people to events. And sorry that my PowerPoint's having a hissy fit, but I just thought I'd put a quote at the end of that. So I think the most powerful reason to attend events is not found within the events itself, but rather before and after the daily schedule, and in the breaks. I think where you get to mingle with people. If it's a big corporate event, you get to catch up for lunch, you get to do that. This is where people get to socialise, they hang out with each other, they talk, they're excited about the same thing, and together they make incredible things happen. So I feel like you can really discover your leaders in that time, when you really start to get to know people. And it's just a really beautiful way to do business. So I find that's, it's so important to get in real life into events. I just thought after this weekend, people were moved, people felt different, and it was only a small event, but it was a pretty amazing event. So I think there's a lot of power in the events. Absolutely. Does anyone have any questions? Or comments, or is there anything that you think we should add to that?
Maybe I should add to it the upcoming events.
Yes, that would be great. Can you do that?
I do. I'll grab my slides. I actually had some slides. Sorry, I couldn't be on at the start, but that's baby Joy has to be put to bed at exactly 7:30. She doesn't go any earlier or later. She goes at 7:30. Okay, so I'm going to just share my screen. And I've got a few slides to run through. So I might start with the events ones, and then we'll finish with the recognition ones. Okay, so we've got a lot of upcoming events. So you can leverage all these amazing things out of events that Sharon has just spoken about. So of course, we have our regular online events, just like this team training now. And then at 8 p.m, we have our Redox talks, which you can invite people to. And then at 8 p.m, Brisbane time, 9 p.m, Melbourne and Sydney time. Sorry, we're on the daylight saving different time zones now. We also have our Expert in the House, which is a different diamond speaking each week, which you can attend, send guests along to. So that's at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, or 8:30 p.m. Daylight Saving Time. The 7th of November is David He, and the 14th of November is Sally Diamond. So that's the next couple coming up. We have a special webinar on the 13th of November. So this one will be great to invite people along to learn about the redox. We've got a couple of health professionals, Sally Diamond and Lorna Golombik, speaking on this call. So it'll be a really good one. So that's on the 13th of November, so next Tuesday. You can invite people along to that. It'll be also a great one for health professionals as well, to invite them along to. So Philippines, if you know anyone in the Philippines, Justin just touched down in the Philippines. He just sent me a message. He's just landed. These are all of his dates in the Philippines. So get in touch with the email address down the bottom there, hello@gojustinandnicole.com. That's our assistant. And she will organise for any of your people to attend these events, get them a seat at these events. So he's over there for about 11 days, so events around the Philippines. So if you know anyone there. Sydney, I'm going to be doing some events in Sydney, the 15th, 16th in Paddington, just confirming the details of that, and I'll be doing some one-on-one meetings for people who are interested in the ASEA opportunity as well, and an event on the 17th of November at Cronulla in the afternoon. So just waiting to get a flyer done on those. Brisbane, we have some events coming up in Brisbane. So we have Sally doing they're both on the 21st of November, Wednesday the 21st of November. Sally is going to be doing one in the Bayside area, so Wynnum, Manly kind of area in Brisbane, if you know anyone who lives in that part of Brisbane. And I will be doing one in North Lakes, which is on the north side of Brisbane. So north side of Brisbane, Sunshine Coast, that's quite a good location for people in those areas to get to. Perth on the 18th of November, Yeska Mass will be doing an event in Perth on the 18th of November. So if you know people in Perth, you can send them along to that. So that's a Sunday afternoon event. The details are there, so you'll be able to send people along to Perth. Melbourne has another event coming up on the 5th of December with Lorraine Bavat and Christina Sword, two diamonds in ASEA. So that'll be a great event to get along to. That's, I think, is that a Wednesday evening? I think it's a Wednesday evening. Thursday, maybe. It's an evening during the week anyway, that date. Okay, and then a couple of other events that are coming up early next year. So we have our national conference at the Gold Coast Convention Exhibition Centre on the 15th and 16th of February. Friday, the 15th of February, will be just the afternoon session, and it will be Envision Ethos training with Tyler Norton, which will be really amazing. So definitely worth getting along to that. The following day, on the 17th of February, we have Peak Performance Leadership Training run by the Australian Diamond. So you need separate tickets for these events. And we have a keynote speaker, Dr. Darren Weissman, and he is an internationally renowned transformation guru. He's been featured in a lot of movies. He's got a couple of New York Times best-selling books. So he's the founder of the Lifeline Technique. Other things to aim to qualify for is the ASEA Ascent trip in Cancun, Mexico, which is the 11th to the 15th of June next year, open to bronze to platinum ranks, or also any new diamonds. Anyone who wasn't diamonds when the qualification started can still qualify for this trip. And then, of course, the Diamond Summit in October next year, great one to be on, and the Ambassador Extension. So there's quite a lot of events coming up that you can tap into. So that's really definitely worth getting along to. But I also wanted to quickly recognise, since this is our first call of the month, people for their work in October, if that'd be okay. I'll just take a couple of minutes to do that, since we've still got a couple of minutes left here. Why is my clock gone off my thing? Why can't I see it? There's one on there. That doesn't seem the right time. Okay, so this is recognition for October 2019. So we had lots of new directors in October 2019, which was super exciting. So this is the first rank in ASEA. They've sponsored one person on the left and one person on the right. So yay to all the new directors. Super awesome work. New Director 300s, lots of people reaching the rank of Director 300 as well in October. So that was really exciting. So this is Commission Weeks 40 to 44. So people from all over the world on this list, which is really exciting. Asia and Australia and, yeah, all different parts of the world, which is great to see. Also, lots of new Director 700s, again, from all around the world and all different teams within our group. So really exciting to see all the Director 700s, new Director 700s. We also had a new bronze, so really amazing achievements make it to bronze. Peter Reed. So I don't think he is on the call tonight, but well done to Peter for doing that. And a new gold executive as well, Richard Ayoub, which is amazing. So Richard in Melbourne, it was great to see Richard when I was down there. So lots happening. And then I also just wanted to call out our number 1 enrollers for October, Lena Marcus and Cheryl Gatfield. So I haven't even met Cheryl yet. I'll have to like call her and introduce myself because I haven't even met Cheryl yet. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I did have more enrollers too. Anyway, I had the rest of our top enrollers, but they have disappeared. So that's all I have, all from me. So anyone have any questions? But lots of cool events coming up. So definitely get along to them. No questions. Everyone's so quiet.
Okay, I'll ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best surefire way, I know I'm a blanket term here, of inviting people along? Because some people seem to have a mental block to be invited along to events.
So I'd really love you to come to this event. Can I come and pick you up? That's the best way to get them there.
Okay, I'll hire a bus.
Dan and Jeanette always bring a carload like that. I mean, yeah. Do you want to speak to that, ladies? They will drive an hour across town and they will not come without their car full.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Renowned for it.
renowned for it. Yeah. Or getting everyone to meet at our place with a couple of cars and we all travel together.
Yeah, we do a convoy then.
Yeah, it's the way to do it. But you know, like in Brisbane now, there's that many events on, so there's no reason why anybody should miss an event because there's one happening.
I mean, there's one happening in Toowoomba tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, tonight. With Lorna.
Yeah, so there's events everywhere. But I think the best thing is to follow people up and make sure they're going to turn up.
Yeah, and
With the
in
phone call.
person, I think sometimes we just think it's all going to happen on email or text or messenger, but you really, as soon as you do a personal phone call, sometimes people are skedaddling around going, oh, God, I did see that. I don't know where it is, blah, blah, blah. Send it to me again if you do it on email or messenger. But if you make the phone call, they go, okay, yep, I think I can get myself there. And if you go, well, be at our place at, 6:15, we're ready to go. It all happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think you just got to follow people up, really.
Yep,
That's
follow
the big
up.
thing.
Don't be afraid to get on.
Mm.
Yeah. Get them in your car.
Get them in your car.
Get them in your car.
And on a couple of occasions, we've actually taken 2 cars.
Yeah.
We've each driven one of the cars.
Mm.
So it happens.
But, drag them in.
Absolutely.
You don't have to drag them around, but drag them in.
Yeah, drag them in.
I forgot to mention we're also having a team Christmas party on the 15th of December at our house too. So I forgot to put that one on the slides. I did put it on Facebook. Maybe a little far for some of you to come. Liz and Pam for the Christmas party. A bit far. They live in Europe and the UK. A little far. All right. Does anyone else have any other questions? Thank you so much, Sharon, for running the training.
You're so welcome.
That's fantastic. It's like I can't get on at 7:30 when I'm home by myself because Shoy has to watch Shaun the Sheep and the Giggle and Hoot Good Night song before she goes to bed, which finishes at 7:30. Awesome. All right. I'm going to just shut the doors and do the air conditioning. Will we end this meeting and then restart it again?
Would you like me to end the meeting?
Yeah, and I'll start it again.
Start it again.
Awesome.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thanks, everyone. Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thanks, Sharon.